Well, howdy folks, it's Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician, making part 3 of our 2002 Passat 1.8 liter turbo timing water pump, and now we are going to add a valve cover gasket, valve cover gasket job, and also spark plugs as well, since when I pulled cylinder number 1 spark plug, I found oil down in there and oil on the plug and on the tip of the coil, so we're going to go ahead and get all that changed out as well. So where am I at on this? First of all, I want to make a correction. In my previous video, I said that your timing mark needed to be lined up here. That's not true. Your timing mark for TDC needs to be lined up. Fell over there for a second. Sorry about that. Your timing mark needs to be lined up here with your bolt hole. You're going to know that you're in the right position when you look up here. Here's your timing mark on the back of your, or on your valve cover, and here is the timing mark on your gear right there. And that's how you're going to know that you're at TDC before you pull the belt. Now, go ahead and also pull cylinder number 1 plug, and you want to peek down in there, and with a little bit of light, you should be able to see the top of the piston head. And again, that's how also you can confirm that you're at TDC and you're not going to cause any damage when you remove the timing belt. At that point, go ahead and get a 12mm socket and loosen your tensioner, and your belt's going to come loose. Then you're going to need a 10mm socket to take your hydraulic tensioner out. And you can see where those 2 bolts are. And so that's going to be a 10mm, and then just take that and set that aside, and don't lose any of your parts and pieces. Not that you're going to be replacing or reusing this stuff. I just, don't like losing stuff, basically. Okay, you're going to get that off of there, put that aside, and then go ahead and take your timing belt off. Now, the next step is to get our water pump out. And we're going to go ahead and use 10mm socket and ratchet to go ahead and get that off. Alright, make sure you always put a drain pan down to catch any fluid or anything. And here you go. Now I've already put this pulley back on. I'm going to go ahead and get the water pump back on and my tensioner back on next. Alright, and then after you get your water pump installed and your timing belt reinstalled, making sure everything is torqued down to the proper specification, go ahead and remove your clip. Pull your tensioner. Don't tighten this bolt up yet, because as you can see, it's going to work to gain tension. So go ahead and pull your tensioner and just let it rest for a minute. And then once you've done that, go ahead and tighten up your tensioner pulley. Alright, now that we got all our components installed, one of the things that you want to do after you've reinstalled your timing belt, you've got your tensioner set, everything's set, is go ahead and turn the crankshaft over by hand as fast as you can and realign your timing marks. Now remember, on engines, automotive engines, 2 full rotations of the crankshaft equals 1 full rotation of the camshaft, or in other words, 1 full rotation of the camshaft, or crankshaft, sorry, 1 full rotation of the crankshaft equals half a rotation on the camshaft. So let's go 1 full rotation here, and what we're doing is we're feeling to make sure that we don't have any valve to piston contact, that everything turns over smoothly. So 1 full rotation, if you notice, our timing mark is only halfway around. So we're going to turn it 2 full times. And honestly, you want to turn it as fast as you can. Okay? Because you want to make sure that those pistons are not going to hit those valves when you start this engine. And we'll bring it back around. Line it back up. Look down in here, make sure we can see our piston head. Sorry for the lighting, but piston head you can see. And so we're at TDC. Everything is installed, and technically the timing job is done. Now it's time to put everything back together. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and get everything back together. Now I promised, as a part of this series, because I didn't show how to take the front bumper apart, that I would at least show that. So that'll be part 4, is showing how to put the bumper back together, so you know where all the fasteners are that you need to take apart and put back on to get that off. So alrighty folks, well, I greatly appreciate you coming out and watching my videos. I appreciate all your support. Check me out on patreon.com and gofundme.com. I got some cool projects going on over there. Once again, thanks for your support. This is Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician, signing off.